British actor Terence Stamp, who played an iconic role in the Australian film The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, has died aged...
A master of the brooding silence. Terence Stamp was best recognised for playing the villains during a lengthy...
The cold fire of the Limey. He even said out loud what others whispered about a galaxy far, far away. Tonight we pull the thread, how he almost became 007, why he vanished, and the single sentence that made him immortal. Stay with me. Terence Stamp died on August 17th, 2025 at 87. The announcement was brief, graceful, measured, and light on details, but the reaction was instant. Feeds filled with that black suit.
British actor Terence Stamp, who dazzled in the Australian film The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, has died.
The unblinking stare, the voice that made even superheroes think twice. And it wasn't just nostalgia. Stamp connected generations. The breakout newcomer in Billy Budd, the myth-making tyrant of Superman 2, the tender wit of Priscilla, the coiled vengeance of the Limey. He moved from studio spectacle to indie edge without losing the steel in his gaze. This matters because careers rarely arc like his. Most stars ride one wave. Stamp caught several, walked away when it flattened, then paddled back stronger.
How did I prepare for General Zod?
He didn't just survive eras, he threaded them. 60s icon, 80s pop villain, 90s cult force, 21st century elder statesman. The news feels heavy because it closes a chapter on a particular kind of presence. Quiet, exact, and impossible to shake once you've seen it. So the question isn't only how he died, it's how he kept mattering for this long. To answer that, we go back to where the current began. East London classrooms, a first film that detonated expectations.
General Zod, once trusted by this council, charged with maintaining the defense of the planet.
And a young actor who looked like he'd been famous for years the moment the camera found him. East London accent, film star face, drama school discipline. Terence Stamp arrived with the feel of someone the camera already knew. Training at Webber Douglas sharpened the voice. Early stage work gave him that stillness he'd carry for life. Then the break. Billy Budd hits, and the industry doesn't just notice, it recalibrates. Awards chatter, magazine covers, a new kind of leading man. Elegant, unreadable, a little dangerous.
If you haven't heard, actor Terence Stamp has passed away today, unfortunately. Comic book lovers and just pop culture lovers.
Directors wanted the intensity. Photographers wanted the angles. London, mid-60s, turned him into shorthand for the era. He didn't coast. He sampled everything, stage to screen, gritty dramas to sleek romances, picking roles that let the eyes do most of the talking. Fame wrapped around him fast, premieres, headlines, a social orbit packed with its namesake. Yet, even in the noise, he felt solitary, like a man testing what celebrity could and couldn't buy. The image locked in, the beautiful outsider.
Breaking news. Legendary actor Terence Stamp passed away today. He was 87.
A working-class kid who stepped into the spotlight and never blinked. It looked unstoppable. And then the current shifted. The decade ended. The calls slowed. He felt the pull of somewhere quieter and answered it. The offers didn't dry up overnight. They thinned. The parts got safer, the notes more obvious. He could have coasted. He didn't. He stepped sideways, away from sets and into ordinary days that didn't need an audience. He chased quiet with the same focus he once gave to marks and lenses. Mornings began early, breath first, pages next.
I hadn't exactly retired, but things had sort of stopped for me at the end of the 60s, I'd stopped.
He edited his life the way he'd later edit a performance. Cut the noise, keep the pulse. Food got simpler, training got smarter, the body leaned into economy, the mind learned to wait. Travel wasn't escape, it was schooling. He drifted through places where nobody cared about premieres, where conversation left room for silence. The lesson was patience. The lesson was attention. When you stop filling the air, you hear what's actually there. he wrote. Not for publicity, for practice.
Breaking news from Britain. Revered actor Terence Stamp has died at 87. Terence Stamp, the iconic British...
Memory, recipes, little observations sharpened into a voice that didn't need decoration. The same restraint crept into how he held himself. No wasted gestures, no nervous charm. He let a look do the work a speech used to do. Friends noticed the change. Less glitter, more gravity. He could sit across a table and leave space for you to arrive. That presence, still, measured, slightly dangerous, would become the signature of his second act. It wasn't a mask. It was a choice.
The world of film is grieving today as legendary British actor Terence Stamp, the unforgettable General...
The industry kept moving, trends swung, technology rushed in. He didn't chase any of it. He refined. When he finally pointed himself back toward the camera, he brought back a new temperature. Cool on the surface, heat underneath, timing like a blade. Directors feel that across a room, and then the right call landed. Not a boyish lead, not a charming rogue, a figure cut from obsidian. Few lines, all of them heavy. A posture that said everything without moving an inch.
Rise before Zod.
He didn't just return to the screen, he entered a myth and gave it the sentence people still repeat. The return wasn't noisy, it was precise. Black armor, hands behind the back, eyes that didn't blink unless they meant it. As General Zod, Terence Stamp didn't shout his power, he radiated it. The menace lived in the pauses, in the way he seemed bored by resistance, in the certainty that the room belonged to him the second he entered it. The line became a brand. 3 words, soft as a dare.
Legend silenced, truth lies hidden. Imagine a screen presence that defined decades, from swinging 60s icons.
Heavy as a verdict. People quoted it without even having seen the film. Playgrounds, dorm rooms, comic shops. It worked because he never pushed it. He said it like gravity speaking for itself. No strain, no sweat, just inevitability. That restraint did something unusual for a comic book villain. It aged well. The performance didn't depend on effects or noise. It depended on focus. You could lift it out of its era and drop it into any modern blockbuster, and it would still cut.
Terence Stamp passes away. Superman and far from the madding crowd star. Guess how much his estate is worth? Stamp's wealth mainly came from 3...
That's why clips survived as the technology changed. That's why a single glare could live longer than entire explosions. He used the stillness like a blade, chin slightly tilted, voice pitched low, not loud. He let other characters spend their energy while he stood there and took the scene away. It felt royal, not feral. Authority instead of tantrum. You weren't watching a bad guy. You were watching rule of law rewritten by one man's will. Then came the second echo, years later.
This is how a Superman actor died. On August 17th, Terence Henry Stamp, the legendary star best known as...
That unmistakable voice guiding a new generation in a different corner of the same myth. Villain once, father figure next. It made the legacy strange in the best way. He became part of the world's memory of Superman from 2 directions at once. The result was pop culture permanence, conventions, memes, tribute videos, midnight screenings. His face would appear and rooms would finish the sentence for him. Actors chase that kind of imprint for whole careers.
Terence Stamp, the actor who brought the iconic Superman villain General Zod to life, has passed away at the age of 87.
He achieved it in a handful of gestures and a single measured command. And yet the box he could have been trapped in never closed. Because the next time he shocked people, it wasn't with a cape or a cape's enemy. It was with sequins, vulnerability, and a performance that asked audiences to kneel to something else entirely. Heart. Then he zigged where everyone expected him to zag. Terence Stamp took a role that could have been played for laughs and refused to cheapen it. As Bernadette in The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
I've got a story about Terence Stamp. I think it was season 3. It must have been season 3 or 4 because we had the Portraits of Solitude.
He moved with grace. Not a wink, not a caricature, just lived in dignity. The voice softened, the edges warmed, and the stillness that once read as menace now read as poise. You felt years behind the eyes. The jokes landed, but they never landed on her. That choice turned a glittery road movie into something tender and enduring, and it reminded people that restraint can be the loudest statement in the room. 5 years later, he flipped the coin. The Limey wasn't loud either. It was surgical.
It's in Australia. The guy's a first-time director. And I said, well, the girl, Caroline, was saying, just say.
Steven Soderbergh cut time like glass, and Stamp met the form with a performance that barely moved and somehow said everything. He played a father who arrived in Los Angeles with old country manners and a ledger to balance. No bravado, no speeches, just pressure building in a quiet room. Even the film's memory belonged to him. Images of a younger Stamp folded into the story until the past and present shared a face. When the promise of revenge finally surfaced, it felt inevitable, not explosive.
What's this? That, my darling, is my most treasured possession in the whole wide world.
Because he'd spent the entire film convincing you he was capable of anything without raising his voice? Put those two roles side by side and you get the truth of his second act. Range without strain. Compassion and threat, delivered with the same economy. It confused the boxes people tried to put him in and made casting directors see him all over again. He could be mythic or intimate, camp or classic, and never break character doing it. That freedom gave him permission to be blunt about the work itself, especially when spectacle started replacing connection, which is where the next turn lands. A galaxy far, far away, a green screen, and an old-school actor who wasn't impressed. He stepped into the biggest sandbox on Earth and found it quiet. As Chancellor Valorum in The Phantom Menace, Terence Stamp should have been surrounded by voltage. Instead, he stood in rooms that weren't there, spoke to marks that were people in theory, and felt the connection drain out through the floor.
Don't darling me, darling. Look at you. You've got a face like a cat's ass. That's just what this country needs. A cock in a
The work was careful, professional, even regal. It just wasn't alive to him. Stamp liked eyes, he liked weight, he liked another actor's breath changing the rhythm of a line. Green walls don't give you that. He'd imagined the electricity of trading moments with a young queen. He got a stand-in and a tape mark. The craft didn't vanish, but the joy did. You can see the control on screen, measured voice, impeccable posture, but you can also sense a man doing his job while the room refuses to answer back.
Rest in peace, legendary actor Terence Stamp, 87. You might remember him from movies such as Wall Street.
That honesty later made headlines. Not tantrum, not bitterness, just a veteran saying what it felt like when cinema turned into engineering. And the reaction proved the point. Half the audience nodded, half bristled, and his name trended again because he told a simple truth. Some performances need friction, not pixels. It didn't shrink him. If anything, it clarified him. He wasn't against scale, he was for presence. Put him where the air has pressure and the rules get interesting. Which is why the next almost chapter in his life still fascinates people who love myth and machinery. He came closer than you think to wearing the most famous suit in British cinema. And the story of why it didn't happen says as much about him as anything he did on screen. After Sean Connery stepped away the first time, the Bond machine started sniffing around for a successor. Terence Stamp's name came up. He met, he listened, and then he did the very Stamp thing. He pitched a version that wasn't safe.
Born in London in 1938, Stamp attended Webber Douglas Academy of Dramatic Art before he starred in on-stage play.
Not a tuxedo mannequin. not a copy of what worked before. A colder, sharper, more dangerous 007, leaner in speech, heavier in presence, a spy you'd believe even without the gadgets. The producers heard it and flinched. The franchise was a global comfort food. His idea was a diet. He didn't beg, he didn't soften. He walked out the way he walked into most rooms, calm, certain, unbothered by outcomes he couldn't respect. The part went elsewhere, history rolled on, and fans filed the near miss under the great what-ifs.
Get him! Come to me, son of Jor-El! Kneel before Zod!
In a way, it helped him. Bond would have caged him in charm. Stamp was built for narrower corridors and louder silences, roles where a glance could carry a paragraph. Missing that crown kept him available for the work that made him permanent. The tyrant in black, the elegant survivor in sequins, the avenger who barely moved. And that brings us to the closing chapter, the late career run, the final films, and the legacy that hardened the moment the news broke. Age didn't dim him, it distilled him.
Terence Stamp, the English actor who played the arch-villain General Zod in the original Superman films, has died at the age of...
Terence Stamp moved through the last decades like a man who'd thrown away every trick that wasn't essential. He played leaders, mentors, shadows in doorways, the kinds of roles that can turn to cardboard if you press too hard. He never pressed. He let air gather around a line and trusted you to lean in. Watch the late run and a pattern appears. In one story, he's the quiet architect of fate, nudging a younger man toward or away from the edge. In another, he's the elder with rules, the last adult in a room full of noise.
This Burke on the bench wasn't worth my time. It meant sod all in the end, because you've got to make a choice when to do something.
Even when he's on screen for minutes, he feels like the film's center of gravity. Directors handed him exposition, and he turned it into charge. Editors found that his stillness gave them more to cut with than other actors' fireworks. The choices kept sliding between myth and intimacy. A sleek sci-fi thriller gives him the air of a civil servant who knows too much. A glossy espionage tale uses his calm like a threat you can't see until it's too late. Then, a neon noir memory piece.
Listen here, you mullet. Why don't you just light your tampon and blow your box apart? Because it's the only...
Hands him a single look in a bar, and he makes you rethink who the villain actually is. The connective tissue is restraint. He doesn't wave for your attention. He holds a silence, and the silence wins. Television got the same discipline. A generation that missed the cape years still knew the voice, the stern warmth that could shape a hero with a single sentence. It's a strange, elegant loop. The man who once commanded Superman now sounding like the man who raised him. Two mythic roles, one instrument.
Oh, son of Jor-El! Kneel before Zod! Snitchy boochies!
Off camera, he kept stripping things down. Food, training, the way a day is built. The books he wrote weren't celebrity scrapbooks. They read like a craftsman sorting his tools. Less decoration, more intent. It bled back into the work. You can see it in the shoulders, the timing, the way he waits for the other person to finish lying before he answers. What audiences felt was credibility. In a louder era, bigger effects, faster cuts, he made slowness dangerous again. A shorter speech hit harder. A smaller gesture read larger.
And save these questions for another day.
He wasn't nostalgic for the past. He was stubborn about contact. He wanted eyes, not pixels. He believed two people in the same room could make a current no soundstage could fake. That's the legacy. Not just a quote or a meme or a villain who never missed. It's a standard for how to last. Control the breath, cut the fat, carry a secret, and let the audience come to you. Refuse to shout when everyone else is competing for volume. Make the smallest choice that tells the truth.
Terence Stamp was famous for playing a very different type of role when he surprised fans with his turn as Bernard.
So when the headline landed, it felt bigger than a date and an age. It felt like the end of a particular kind of authority. the kind you can't manufacture with money or noise. He proved you can be mythic without motion, tender without apology, lethal without raising your voice. Say less, mean more. That's the lesson he leaves behind, and it leads us straight into the close. What his life's arc teaches anyone trying to build something that outlives the moment. Terence Stamp's story doesn't resolve into a single image.
To stay aware as much as possible. And there was this whole interaction between all the...
It's a sequence. A kid from East London stepping into sudden light, a man walking away when the noise got cheap, an actor returning with a gaze that could hold a room still. He proved presence is a decision, that you can change shape without losing gravity. That restraint, applied with nerve, outlives spectacle. He carried 3 careers in one life: 60s icon, mythic antagonist, late-style master, and each phase refined the next. When the headlines landed, what people felt wasn't just grief, it was recognition. We'd been borrowing his rules for years. Breathe, cut the excess, let the line land once and land clean. Trust the audience to meet you halfway. That's the lesson worth keeping. You don't have to shout to be unforgettable. You don't have to hurry to be current. If you do the small things exactly, the big things remember you. Somewhere tonight, a clip rolls and a voice delivers a sentence like a law of nature. The room goes quiet, and across decades, one man's control still causes the world to lean in.